Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Connie. And boy, do I need a lot of coffee today. I am feeling so sleepy. So today my guest star is Sharon with Sharon Creates. How are you doing today, Sharon?
I'm good.
Awesome. And let's see, we have Megan and JC here. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all working on? Yeah, the last few days I have just been like so drowsy. It's like I've slept most of the day.
Sometimes you just need to catch up on stuff.
I mean, it's like I'm here preparing for my live, and I'm just like, okay, I need to stay awake. I need to stay awake. So if I'm kind of a little out of it today, that's why.
It's fine.
But yeah, today I need to catch up my row on my temperature blanket yesterday, and do today's too. And I'm hoping to work on my knitted shawl today too.
Knitting is something I've got to pick up and try again. I started learning a little bit, but my edges kind of add a stitch, drop a stitch.
Yet one of the hardest things with knitting is the drop stitches.
It's because I'm so used to crocheting. I started crocheting when I was about 13, and it's been on and off. If you're a teenager, you don't crochet much. At least I didn't.
I didn't start knitting or crocheting until I was in my 40s.
Yep.
But that's the one thing that's one of the hardest things because you gotta hold everything where those stitches don't come off that needle. And then when they do and they drop down, it's fun to fix them. But it's not as difficult as what you would think. Um, and I have done tutorials on how to fix them. So
I like how the knitting is very compressed, very tight stitches. So it's really nice for warm clothing.
mhm. It has kind of like this. I can't think of the right word.
It's
It
almost
has
like
like a
fabric.
classic look. Let's see. We have KB Fibers that joined us, Morgie, Susan, Brenda, Dana, Melissa. How are all of y'all doing today? And what are y'all working on? And I need to try to get my shout out video done today. I'm behind on that video,
I'm
but
so bad with putting videos up.
but
Getting better, but takes time.
I meant to do it last week, and last week I didn't put out any regular videos. I just went live last week, but I need to try to get that done today. If I get but I need to get more perky first. I need a whole coffee pot full of coffee, and it's a wonderless raid. Awesome, awesome. So I have some jokes for y'all, and hopefully y'all get a kick out of these jokes. How do you know when a bike? I'm sorry. How do you know when a bike is thinking? Any idea?
You can see the wheels turning.
Yeah, you can see their wheels turning. The next joke I have: what kind of shoes do frogs love?
Not Crocs.
Open toed. instead of open toe, open toed. And the last joke is, what do cats wear to bed? Pajamas. Instead of pajamas, paw. Let's see. Brenda says she's getting up to get more coffee and then blend some blue and gray fiber so she can spin some more yarn. Awesome, awesome. So, who are my coffee drinkers? And have y'all had y'all coffee yet this morning? Or are y'all still drinking coffee? Are you a coffee drinker, Sharon?
Yes, I like coffee. Today I'm actually having energy punch. It's the Walmart pouches of drink mix. It's got caffeine in it because I need to go out and get some more creamer.
I'm hooked to the cinnamon coffee creamer.
I like the flavored coffees. I didn't used to. It used to be just had to be regular coffee, but as I've gotten older, I like the flavors.
But I have my Starbucks French roast in my cup. So, what's in everyone's coffee cups, or are y'all drinking something else today? Um, but yeah, my Starbucks with my cinnamon coffee creamer. Yum yum yum. And it's even better if you can get like the cinnamon flavored coffee with the cinnamon coffee creamer. Ooh. Like I said, today is one of those days I'm probably gonna drink a whole pot of coffee. And let's see, we have Saguaro here and Lori. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? So Saguaro says, I learned to knit in the fifth grade, but learned to crochet in my late 50s. My crochet projects are always wonky. I was taught to add an extra knitted stitch at the end to slip the stitches. Yeah, I started knitting about 3 years ago. And then in September will make 2 years that I've been crocheting. But but
I
I
started crocheting again when I was pregnant with my son, who is turning 21 at the end of the month.
happy early birthday.
Yeah, can't believe it's been that long.
But yeah, I wish I would have started knitting and crocheting earlier in life.
I'm
And
glad I learned because now I'm home, I'm on disability, so it gives me something to keep my hands busy and to give me something to do.
yeah, like I love like watching like when I watch TV, it's like I got my knitting and crocheting going.
Yep.
And let's see, Karen says wishes I could have coffee. Aw.
Ah,
Yeah, I know a few of y'all can't have coffee. Melissa says me still drinking coffee. And Karen says I'm drinking Ras cranberry sparkling water.
ah.
And Saguaro says hot tea with honey and lemon. Have
Oh,
bronchitis. Ooh, I hope you feel
feel
better soon.
better.
Yeah, bronchitis is not fun at all. And and we also have Anita that joined us. Hi, Anita. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Susan's drinking sweet tea. It seems like most of y'all are drinking other things today. And we have Samantha that joined us. Hi, Samantha. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? And we also have Cindy that just joined us. Same question, Cindy. How are you doing and what are you working on? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let Sharon tell y'all more about herself and her channel. So take it away, Sharon.
Uh, well, let's see. I am. on disability, so I've got plenty of time to work on my crocheting. I've got problems with my legs and my ankles and my belly area, so sitting is a really good thing for me. And the crocheting keeps me busy. I like to crochet a lot, mostly for a ministry called Operation Christmas Child. We fill shoe boxes and they get sent out around the world to kids in poor areas that have been affected by war and famine and floods and whatever. They go everywhere. I pack all year. Well, I pick stuff up all year, but the boxes get donated in mid-November. Then they go down through a processing center and get organized as to where to go. They go through it to make sure that everything in it will pass customs because it's going overseas, and they have to make sure there's no food, no liquids, because it's got to go. But I do a lot of hats and doll clothes and doll blankets and soap pouches and little things for that. And then I like making baby blankets and hats. And lately I've been making blankets for a few local kids who have been diagnosed with cancer and for some foster kids.
Awesome. I know like one idea I like is I've seen it where some people will like make like hats and scarves and stuff and like hang it on a fence for those that are cold and need it.
I think that's really neat.
I do too.
And then I've seen this thing going around called Random Acts of Crochet Kindness, where people crochet little things and put it in a bag with a note and just leave it someplace. And I was like, that sounds cool, but I just haven't gotten to do that yet.
I know it's like there's so much that you want to do, and it's finding the time to.
I'm just glad that there's so many opportunities out there to do things. There's the Hat Not Hate, which I've heard a lot about. A lot of people donate to local shelters, whether it's the homeless shelters or women's shelters. And I just think it's great that there's so many places that you can give to.
It is awesome. I know like I would make earrings and donate them to the org.
That's great. I
One of
haven't
these
done
days,
anything that small.
I need to donate some of my crochet and knitting makes. Let's see, we have Janice that joined us. And now we have both Brendas in the house, Brenda Young and Bear's Crochet Critters. And we also have Ashley that joined us. How are all of y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? So do you have any whips and finished objects you want to show everyone?
Sure. Let's see here if I can find the zipper. These plastic project bag thingies are really good for storing finished things in. These are cat butt coasters.
I love those. I think those are so cute. Especially if you're a cat person.
Yeah. Somebody actually asked me to make them and then didn't end up purchasing them. So I've got some made. But I mean, in the orange and in black.
Ooh. Because cats have a tendency to do that.
Yes.
Right in your face.
But they're fun. It's made with the cotton, and I doubled up the cotton to make it stiff. And then a baby blanket.
Ooh, that's pretty.
I love the colors. It's one of the mandalas. Those are fun.
Yeah, I love mandala yarn.
And then another one with the mandala yarn.
Ooh, pretty.
I love trying different patterns. And this, it was either landscapes or the Red Heart. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. but it's that shiny, fun stuff. And that's with the butterflies in it.
I love that stitch.
It's so fun. Oh, that one has the butterflies in it too, but I did it the other way.
Ooh, I love those colors.
Oh, it's so pretty. And then a little baby hat
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, and I love that style of hat.
and a little blanket to go with it. I like doing like a hat and blanket that match.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what type of hat that is.
Like a newsboy hat, I think they're called.
Yeah, that's it.
Mostly I make little stuff. This is some of the stuff I'm doing for the shoe boxes. I did a little stuffed animal
That's so cute.
with the floppy ears, so I think it's kind of a rabbit. I don't know. They can make it whatever they want. And then a hat in the matching colors. So those will go in the box together.
Too cute.
And then I did ah,
Oh, that's cute.
made the doll and the dress,
Oh,
and then another dress to go with it.
oh, she's gonna be styling.
Yeah. And then I like making the soap pouches. These go by really quick, but it's just the cotton yarn, usually the cheap kitchen cotton, just a little drawstring bag that fits a bar of soap. And then they can use it as a washcloth and then hang it to dry so all the soap goes into the bag and they use up every bit of the soap. And then they can use the bag for whatever. But that's a lot of what I do is the soap pouches and the hats and some stuffed animals and little stuff for the boxes. Those go by quick. And then I do the doll blankets is a good way for me to try out new patterns because it's a small thing, and if I mess up, then I know not to make a big blanket out of it.
Those were some really nice makes that you showed.
It's fun. I love watching videos and learning new patterns, and it's a constant learning. Of course, Bago Day is one of my favorite. She's always coming up with new tutorials, and
Mm, did you see that last shawl?
oh, that's so pretty.
I know. I think I may make that one next.
I love the virus shawl, and I love the way that she does so much texture in her works. So I'm like, ooh, yay, that looks fun.
I know. She
I've
has
got another pattern I have to try. I actually bought a pattern. I don't usually do it. Usually I go for the free patterns, but I actually bought a pattern, so I've got to try it. It's the ultimate sacrifice shawl. It looks kind of like a heart in the middle with wings.
oh cute.
Yeah, it's not like exactly, but it's kind of, and it's really pretty and lacy, and I even went out and bought some Hobie cotton. So I've got to do something really special with that because it's not cheap yarn.
I know. I want to catch the Hobie Universe, the fingering. Wait. I want to catch that hopefully the next time it goes on sale. It always seems like it goes on sale when I don't have the extra money.
Yep, yep. I caught the shadow. The yep. the big balls of the big cakes of the shadow, Sultan shadow. And then I got some mystery bags, so I got some more in there.
Kobe has such beautiful yarn.
That was my splurge on me to get some international yarn, not from the big box stores.
One day I'll finally get me some universal yarn. One day. It might be Black Friday when they usually have the big sale.
Yep, yep.
Let's see, we have Lisa and Keith that joined us. How are y'all doing today? And what
Yeah.
are y'all working on? But yeah, actually one of the questions that I was gonna ask today is where is it? I know I have it written down. Oh, here it is. Right at my very first question. What yarn would you like to try?
Hmm. Probably like Angora. I don't think I've ever crocheted with Angora.
Ooh.
Something really nice and soft and cool stuff.
For me, there's like the universe, which I just mentioned, and then like the ice yarn, the magic glitz. I love sparkly, and I love like more like cake type looking yarn.
Yep. Oh, I love
Um,
sparkly yarn. And sparkly yarn that's soft. Oof. I got to
um,
try some called Tencel. It was the ice rockabilly, and it just showed up at the perfect time. I had ordered some mystery boxes from Mama G, and I opened the box, and there was 2 packs of the rockabilly. It was gray and black. It was so soft, and it's machine washable. And I was just starting a blanket for a cancer patient that was in my daughter's karate class. And I switched over and made a blanket with that yarn instead of what I was using because it was so soft.
I know there's such beautiful, beautiful yarn out there, and that makes me wonder if Gia with YarnNet has started taking orders again. I know she was supposed to start back at the end of June. Dana may know. Um, but yeah,
Because when I
it's like
looked on Amazon, the price for one ball was about the same as what you order a pack of 8 from Ice. Now, I know that shipping from Ice is insane, but I'm like, I'm not paying $8 for one ball when you can get a whole 8 pack for the same price.
and like Gia with YarnNet, she has good prices and the shipping is not crazy. Because when she does start taking orders again, I would like to, when I have the extra money, order some yarn from her.
Yep.
And let's see, we have Carol that joined us. Hi, Carol. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And let's go back and read some of the comments that I've missed. Let's see. Melissa likes caramel macchiato creamer. That's a good one. Anita's working on dishes at the moment.
Ugh.
Have fun. Dishes will never ever leave your side. They keep coming back.
Dishes and laundry.
They're multiplying.
Wash and dry the laundry in the same day, and then it takes 4 to 6 days to fold it and put it away.
That was the one thing I never like. I never have liked folding and putting away laundry. And the funny thing is, folding, especially folding, really is not that hard because you could be like watching TV at the same time. But for some reason,
Usually, I'll take the wheelchair down to my room and fold the stuff onto my bed and separate mine and my daughter's. My son is old enough, he does his own laundry, and he's getting his own place. So I won't be worrying about his anymore, but I'm going to miss him.
But yeah, that and dishes.
Yeah, I started doing the dishes now and took that over. I had my daughter doing them, but she's getting to be a teenager and getting busy with her friends, and I don't want to overdo her chores.
If only my cats could help with dishes.
Exactly.
Let's see. Sawara says apartment fumigated. I came down with bronchitis. Oh
Not fun.
no, because I I've experienced in the past a lot of bronchitis symptoms. And it's not fun.
And apartment fumigation is not fun either because you got to like cover everything and wash dishes again afterwards. And we've gone through stuff like that living because I live in an apartment complex. So every once in a while, if one of the apartments has a problem, then they have to do the whole building, and it's a pain.
Yeah, I remember when I used to waitress, and they would spray. It it was always so much work at the end of the shift to cover everything.
Yep. We had one time right before Christmas, one of the apartments had a problem. The kids that would visit their father, and they lived here and then they would visit their father. They brought home something from their father's house that ended up getting really bad. And they had to spray all the apartments twice, like a week or two apart, right before Christmas. So we had to like clean out the cupboards and put everything together and cover all the food. And I was like, I'm trying to get ready for Christmas and having company.
Yeah. Let's see. We have Julia that joined us. Hi, Julia. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? And let's see. Where was I in the chat? I lost my place. Oh, Jana says, she loves Operation Christmas Child,
Oh, awesome.
and everyone is complimenting you on your makes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Brenda finally finished her daughter's wedding dress. It is beautiful.
That must
You
be amazing.
you did an awesome job, Brenda. Oh, Karen saying that that yarn you were mentioning earlier, it may have been unforgettable.
That's it. Yeah, the Mary Maxim Prism, the Lion Brand, um, yep, landscapes, and the Red Heart Unforgettable. They were all very similar. And it's such nice yarn.
Yeah, they have some pretty color combinations.
I was able to pick up a few skeins at $3 at Michael's when they had the clearance. I think I
Yeah,
earned like $20 or $30 in rewards from that clearance sale.
always love the clearance sales.
We were very lucky with that.
And Janice says, I have to make two blankets for my daughters that are due in August.
Ooh.
Oh, congratulations. And let's see. Brenda says, now working on two boys' sweaters and a woman's sweaters and two twin size blankets.
I haven't gotten too good at making clothing. I've done baby dresses, and I just made two cardigans, which is like the first time that I've done an adult wearable with sleeves. It wasn't too bad because they were the granny square cardigans, so it was easy to measure as to like, okay, a full square or a half square, and this is where you attach. It's a little easier to count stitches.
The dreaded counting stitches.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part about thinking about making full size garments.
I haven't done wearables yet. No, I have made a couple of dog sweaters.
Yep. I haven't done that yet. A cardigan is because my daughter begged me to make one for her. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. It didn't come out bad.
Let's see. Sawara wants to know how many cakes did it take you to make that Mandela yarn baby blanket?
I used one cake for the baby blanket, and they're not really big. It's about a yard by 2 feet, like 2 feet by 3 feet, maybe.
Let's see. Melissa says mosaic crochet on the fence.
I tried a doll blanket in mosaic. It's fun, and they come out really pretty, but yeah, it's a lot of work.
I haven't tried mosaic yet. That's something that is on my to do list.
My suggestion: try it in a doll blanket first, because then you get some idea.
And Keith is saying recommend checking eBay. But I find eBay tends to be expensive for yarn
Yeah.
because it's like, especially like when it comes to the shipping. Because when you tack that in, it's like I find usually, you can find the yarn cheaper elsewhere. Um,
It depends if you're looking for something that's been
you can't find.
continued. Yeah,
But sometimes it's like, yeah, is it worth it?
I get a lot of things donated through like people, ladies at the church will find stuff either in a secondhand store, or somebody will pass away and they have yarn, and or they'll look at the yard sale sites and find something somewhere. And I've used yarn that's definitely discontinued, but it's been fun to try so many different kinds of yarn.
It is like different and even different patterns. I like exploring. All right, Cindy, I hope you have a good day.
Bye, Cindy.
Carol says I've got about 6,000 emails that I'm trying to delete out of my personal account. Yeah, I
Yeah,
need to I need to catch up on my YouTube comments. I hadn't responded the last couple of days. This morning I was catching up on my emails. It's so easy to get behind.
oh yeah, yeah.
And let's see. Sora says I love looking at all the crochet projects from the amazing, talented, and creative people like me and Sharon. Oh, thank you.
I love seeing it. And when a whole mess of people are doing the same project, but in different yarns, different weights of yarn, different types of yarn, it's just amazing to see how different they come out.
It is. Because a lot of times they look so different.
Hmm.
And let's see, Brenda says, I dislike dishes the most, mostly because I cut my hand badly on a glass that broke. Took 2 surgeries and 2 years of physical therapy to keep my pinky and ring finger and be able to move them. Oh no,
I guess that was pretty bad.
that's horrible. Let's see, Sorrow says, food that was not open was donated to a church pantry. Awesome. And Julia says, I'm working on a circle playmat for a baby in the family for Christmas.
Oh, cool.
Lisa's doggy wanted to go out the moment she came on.
Of course. I've done little mini play mats to put in the shoe boxes. It's like it pulls up into a drawstring bag and then opens up, and I've crocheted like a little tree onto it, and then put a couple of like like those little plastic animals in it.
Awesome. Let's see, we have Tyler, Chris, and Sandy that joined us. How
Hi
are all
guys.
y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? Okay. So my next question I have for y'all is: are you a left-handed or right-handed crocheter?
Right hand.
I am. I am right. I crochet right-handed, but I'm actually left-handed. Um, I just figured it would be easier if I could learn it right-handed, where I wouldn't have to reverse patterns and I've also heard that some patterns are only, you know, like you can't reverse it. So I figured my life would be easier to crochet right-handed. Let's see, Brenda says right-handed. Yeah, let us know in the chat if you're a right-handed or left-handed crocheter. Or if you're like me, where you're actually left-handed, but you still do it right-handed. Chris says it's hot today, 93. Working on a cowl. I'm not sure. Oh, that it says snood. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's like a thing that covers like a bun. It
Oh,
goes over
okay,
your head.
okay. It's not a hood, is it?
No, it's kind of like a hairpiece sort of thing. It's like if you do up a bun, it's like a net thing that goes over your head.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Okay, but yeah, here it's actually 82 here, which is
That's
kind of cool, at least for us. Which the high I think is 90 today, which is odd. But we're supposed to be getting more rain, thunderstorms. We've been getting a lot of thunderstorms the last couple of days. That thunder scares me. You hear like ba ba.
I love hearing the thunder. I like lightning at night because you can see it. It's like Mother Nature's fireworks.
It scares me, and especially when you get the lightning to go with it. It's like,
My daughter doesn't like it.
but yeah, it's like, and then we've had some days where the power starts trying to go out. Okay, let's see. Chris says right-handed. Sandy says left all the way.
Yep, left is right.
Brenda Bear says right-handed, even with my funky hand that was injured way, way, way back. Carol says right. And let's see. Julia says I can use both hands, but usually right-handed. Brenda says it's 78 here in New Hampshire.
Nice.
So do we have any other lefties? Sandy says she remembers sitting on the front porch swing with her grandmother watching a thunderstorm back in Wisconsin. It's like I do not like the thunder. I don't. I'm like my cat. I hear thunder. I want to go hide under the bed.
It only scares me when it hits really close and you can like hear the crack and practically see the smoke.
Yeah. Okay, let me find that email. Brenda wants me to show the wedding dress.
Oh yeah.
Was it my email you sent it or messenger? Okay, it's email. Give me just a minute. Okay, my computer's being.
Of course.
Here's the other picture.
Pause for technical difficulties. I am horrible with technology. That's why I crochet, because I can't get things to come up on my phone. I
Okay.
take my crocheting with me everywhere. If I'm waiting for the doctor or somebody's driving me to an appointment.
Okay.
Even while I'm waiting in the hallway at family court, that was fun.
Okay. Okay. Let me get where I need to be. And that's the one thing. Pictures always seem to take forever to come up. Okay, there it goes.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's crocheted? Wow.
How did you do this? The dress, Brenda? Oops,
A lot of work.
accidentally closed it. Okay, here's the other picture. Isn't that beautiful?
It's amazing.
I think I showed both pictures. Hopefully, I didn't show the same picture twice. It's sewing that she did, but it is gorgeous. That reminds me, I also have the picture of the owl shawl that Sharon made that she wanted to share. Oops, hold up.
Technology. That's why I sent it to you because I don't know how to put it up.
It always is pokey to get pictures up,
Yeah,
but that's the owl shawl that Sharon made. Okay.
that was one work that I was pretty proud of because it came out really cool.
So, Chris, you wanting to know the pattern that for the owl shawl?
Didn't have one. I just made it as I went. Looked at a picture of an owl and did what I could.
Let's see, Chris says my mom is left-handed. She tried to teach me to crochet, but it was hard for her because I'm a righty. I had to learn in school during home economics, which they still had home ec in schools.
Yeah,
So that was one thing. Like in high school, I did try to learn crochet from my stepmom one time, and the thing was that she was right-handed and I was left-handed, and like I always had trouble with the whole mirror thing. And but it's funny though that I crochet now right-handed. Let's see. Everyone's saying that Brenda's wedding dress is beautiful, and Sharon's shawl.
thank you.
Okay. So my next question I have for y'all is, do you prefer big or small projects?
Depends. Kind of like to mix them up because once you're done with a big project, it's nice to throw a couple of small ones in just so you feel like you've accomplished a lot. But the big ones you can be proud of, and it's like they're different accomplishments.
See, I think I kind of like in between. I'm not so big on like I'm not as big on doing blankets because they take forever. Um, which I tend to like shawls a lot.
I love making shawls because they come out so pretty, but it's so hard to find people to get them to, at least around here.
I love shawls. and and then of course I do like the small projects because it does make you feel like you've accomplished something. Well, speaking of which, did y'all see the Maximortian amigurumi that I tested the pattern for Crystal? I showed it in my last Crochet Tuesday video. It is too cute. I love how it came out. And then y'all may have seen Crystal's. But yeah, I can't wait for her to release that pattern. It's so cute. Let's see. Laura Lee joined us. Hi, Laura Lee. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Oh, one thing too that I want to remind everybody on Monday's live, the educational informative live, the topic's going to be number two weighted yarn. So if y'all have any makes that y'all made with number two weighted yarn, send y'all pictures in, and I'll make a little video showing everyone's number two weighted yarn makes.
Stuff can take a while.
And
Didn't realize how thin that cotton yarn was until I started using it, and I'm like, oh, this is different.
yeah, the lower weighted, it takes longer. The stitches are smaller. But yeah, and also I want to know how everyone's liking the educational lives. Have y'all watched it yet? But yeah, let me know if y'all liking them. If there's something that you think I could add to it to make it better, I'm open to suggestions because I want this to be something that helps y'all. So, but yeah, give me y'all feedback. Let's see. Chris is saying that she thought the dress was crochet. She was thinking of doing a lacy summer beach dress. Brenda says do both and switch working on them.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah, projects a lot of times you do have to take a break from. Laura Lee says I usually have both going on at the same time. Chris says I like to make shawls, but sometimes doing bigger projects get boring, and I go back to making smaller projects so I can have some instant gratification.
Yep,
Brenda says love it. I'm finally trying to finish Crystal's pattern. Yeah, Brenda's also testing it.
nice.
Like when she showed it to me, I was like, oh, this is just too cute. I'm like, I gotta test it. I got to. Melissa says 80 here in Michigan. Laura Lee says working on a baby blanket and going to start a knit Christmas drawing. Ooh, nice. Brenda says she loves the educational yarn. Awesome. Yeah, because after we get through all the weights of yarn, I'm going to start getting into the different fibers.
There's so many. It's amazing. I didn't know that they made yarn out of certain things.
Now, I don't know if we'll get into every single fiber. We're going to cover at least the popular ones. Um, let's see. Okay, Lily says not drawing a stocking, laughing out loud.
I thought you were doing a graph gan.
And Janice said I made a dog sweater once. Yeah, I actually, the time I made the dog sweater, I made it twice, the same pattern. Um, because what happened was it was supposed to be for my sister-in-law's bigger dog, and it didn't fit. But it fit her smaller dog. Well, really more medium-sized dog. Because Max isn't a small dog. But so then I remade it bigger, and that time it fit the bigger dog.
I've had people ask me about making animal sweaters, and I haven't found any good patterns or anything. Like, I don't know.
I would love to make stuff for my cats, but I don't even think they would let me put it on them, especially not Allie. Allie would get so mad at me. My Allykins is something else.
Yeah, I don't think the guinea pig would do well with the crocheting. She was everything.
Make a little tutu for the guinea pig. Melissa saying that I guess she's referring to Brenda's dress as gorgeous.
That's gorgeous.
It is. Janice is saying I would love to make a sweater for myself. Also.
Making stuff for me. I don't do that very often. Maybe a scarf, like a infinity scarf sort of thing. That's about all I've made for myself.
My go-to tends to be shawls and beanies.
I love making beanies and adding on like little ears or little details so that it fits the theme of a shoebox that I'm doing. I love doing that.
And another thing, I've gotten into making gnomes. Gnomes are so
Those are
cute.
so great. Those have come out so cool. I love the alien gnome.
I still need to write up the pattern. I mean, I made notes. I know exactly what I did. I just need to take the time to write up that and that shawl pattern that I had done.
I've made a couple of gnomes. I made a set that I sent to somebody that was collecting gnomes.
Yeah, they're just so precious. Okay, so my next question that I have for y'all, this one kind of goes with like what we were just talking about. Do you do you like to repeat doing the same pattern or do new patterns, different patterns?
I like using different patterns and just constantly learning something new, but there's some that are just really nice go to. I find myself doing like several of the same pattern and then going on and doing several of a new pattern if I really like the pattern.
See, like me, I struggle doing the same pattern twice. Um, I prefer different patterns where I like the that dog that dog sweater. I did that one twice. The second time I made it, I struggled, and it was the same exact color yarn, which made it even harder. And it was just like, oh, I'm ready to be finished with this. And then there was another time, I had made a shawl, and then my neighbor wanted me to make one for his wife, where it was the same pattern I did before, but at least that one was different colors, and I think I like that one more than the one that I had made for myself. It's funny how that happens.
Sometimes it's easier because I'm doing doll blankets for a new pattern, so it's just learning it by repeating a small section. So it's kind of like doing a big project, but it's just a lot of little ones.
And another thing I like about doing different patterns, I find you learn more because a lot of times you learn, like you might be learning a new stitch or a different technique, and that's another reason that I like doing different things. Let's see. Chris says, I may do a pattern two or three or four times, but then I get sick of it and move on to something new. Yeah.
And certain patterns just don't work with certain yarns. It's a lot of learning as to okay, this one is a long color change, this one's a short color change, and certain things just don't work.
Hmm. I know, and that's one of the that's a question that someone had asked me how to know what type of yarn to use, and it's kind of one of those things where you sometimes you got to just kind of see what works. There's not a definite answer.
Be willing to frog.
And I do find like especially if it's a pattern with like details, I find like solid colors work best because
Yep.
when you're using like a multicolor yarn with a pattern like say you're doing like lace work and knitting, what tends to happen is you got two kind of busy things going on, and when
Yeah.
you combine it, it takes away from the details of the pattern.
Unless it's a really long, really gentle color change.
Hmm. So, but then sometimes certain things will work. You know, it you just kind of got to play and because I know like a while back I had crocheted a beanie and at first I was like I don't know how this is gonna look, and then when it was finished I loved it. I was shocked at how the colors worked. But yeah, you just kind of never know.
Practice, 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 practice.
And if y'all have any tips on that, let me know. Because, you know, if I can help this person out more with it, I would love to help them, the one that initially asked the question.
And don't try detailed stuff with thick yarn. It doesn't work.
But I tend to luck out where, it's like usually whenever I go to use a yarn, it works. But, but yeah, if y'all have suggestions or tips, let me know. Let's see. Susan has to go. I hope you have a good day,
Hi,
Susan.
Suzanne.
Janice says, I'm a right handed crocheter, pencil grip. And let's see. Brenda says, depends on the pattern. I make more than once or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't like doing a pattern more than once.
I think that's why I like stitch tutorials because then you can use the stitch in different ways, usually.
For me, it's like I get bored with the same pattern more than once. I really do. That's like too, like sometimes when you're like crocheting or knitting and like, it's a different color yarn. Do y'all do like me and get excited when you get to the next color?
So you get bored of that same color.
And you're like, oh, there's a new color. So my next question I have is, what is your favorite brand of crochet hooks?
Susan Bates. But I haven't had a whole lot of experience using a lot of different kinds. It's pretty much I've gone between Susan Bates and the boy, and I'm not too thrilled. The boy tends to slip off for me. The Susan Bates holds it better.
See, for me, like the crochet hook that I have that I like the best is actually a Knit Picks one that I won in a giveaway.
Oh, nice.
Um, Now I've always been curious about the what do you call it?
The furls.
Well, I have been curious about furls, but there's another one and I can't think of it. The clover, the clo.
Yep.
I've been curious about those. Yeah, and I use the ergonomic hooks too.
I haven't found an ergonomic hook that works with the way I hold it so far. The boy had a nice ergonomic handle, but it wasn't quite perfect. I tried getting the ergonomic handle on a Susan Bates, and it just wasn't the right handle.
Yeah. See, like with the Susan Bates, I did get some to make the polymer clay. Um, but I don't. It's like I need to practice more with making polymer clay. I've had some that do come out well, but others I find kind of look like gloopy.
It takes a while. My daughter's been playing with resin, And that takes a lot of practice to try to figure out. We've been having fun trying to see how it works.
But yeah, so I played around with it some, but like that shiny stuff that you paint over it, that tends to goop up on me. Let's see. Laura Lee says, I'm not sure I have ever repeated a pattern other than granny squares.
That was my first go-to. Granny squares. My mom did granny squares constantly, and she was one of the people that taught me. Between my mom and the study hall teacher in junior high, that's where I learned. And my mom always did granny squares and made blankets out of them. So it was something that I gravitated towards at first. And now I've discovered there's so many different types of granny squares. So I'm trying to learn some of the new patterns.
I really have never done granny squares. The closest is those peppermint motifs for the peppermint blanket,
Yep.
but I still haven't finished that blanket.
When my daughter was little, it was easy to make granny squares because if you messed up, you didn't have to pull out very much because it was just a set of three and then chains and then sets of three. And it was easy to figure out where you were because when she was little, she'd like grab everything and I'd have to get up and do something and chase her down. And, you pick up the crocheting and go, where was I? And it was easy to find. Now that she's 12, I can try really complicated stuff, sort of.
Brenda says she uses the ergonomic hooks, which I always have trouble saying. Laura Lee says Susan Bates or furls.
Someday I'll try a furls just to see. They look like they'd be comfortable.
See, the one thing I worry about, like the furls, they look bulky. Like they look too bulky.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I like the ergonomic ones, but those just look like a lot wider.
Well, I've realized that when I crochet, I have my thumb out on the hook. And a lot of the ergonomic hooks, the ergonomic part doesn't go out. So you've got like this drop where your thumb is. And I'm like, nope, that doesn't work. So I haven't found the right perfect style for me on ergonomics yet.
And initially I just used the metal, but then I got curious about the ergonomics and I got some from Amazon and I was like, I like this. Now I can't go
Ready
back
to
to the
try
metal.
plastic again? Because since I broke one, I don't, I'm like, no, I'm going to stick with the metal ones.
Let's see. Hi, Carol. How are you doing today? Brenda says, I like the Clover Amore hooks, and my 14-year-old likes Susan Bates. Chris says, I love the Addies, but they are pricey. Yeah, the good ones are always pricey. And Laura Lee wants to know if you've tried the wooden handle Susan Bates.
Mm, mm-mm.
Yeah, me either. Like I said, I only got Susan Bates to make the polymer clay.
Yep.
And Melissa says, I like different patterns. The only one I repeat is granny squares.
I just learned the willow granny square. That comes out really pretty.
Let's see, we have Granny D in the house. Hi, Granny
Hi,
D.
Granny D.
How are you doing? And Mimi Cat do. How are y'all? And what are y'all working on? Let's see.
I made
Brenda,
Granny D a squirrel doll outfit. Is
yeah,
that
she
fun?
loves her squirrels. Brenda says, at least you figured out how to do the peppermints. Yeah, that took a while.
I haven't
At
tried that one yet.
at first, I was like, I struggled to figure out what Mikey was doing in that tutorial.
Switching, is that one that you have to carry colors along?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I sort of learned how to do that by, there was a Star Wars amigurumi book, and my son wanted me to do the Boba Fett, and that had carrying the yarn along, and that was the first time I'd ever done carrying the yarn, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's how it works. It's not comfortable yet.
What's funny is sometimes you forget to do one of the steps, and then you realize, and you're like, I gotta tear out and go back.
And the houndstooth, when Crystal at Bag O' Day was doing a houndstooth hat, it was carrying the yarn. That was a little easier because it was, I don't know.
But yeah,
Maybe
but
because it was the same stitch over and over and over.
I got bored with the peppermint blanket. That's my problem. But I eventually want to get it finished.
Yeah.
Let's see. Laura Lee says, finally have the yarn to finish my willow square blanket. It's 96 blocks and 36 colors. Trying to decide what color to use to join.
96 blocks, that's a lot. I did willow squares as doll blankets.
Let's see. Laura Lee says, I love the thumb plate on the Susan Bates.
Yes. I think that's one of the reasons why I like the Susan Blade so much, because I do have my thumb out. And I think that's just the way I learned how to crochet.
Let's see. Julia says, I use the hooks from Hobby Lobby with the flowers on it.
They're pretty.
And Laura Lee says, most of my hooks are the Susan Bate with the wooden handle. Mimi's finishing the toes on her socks.
Someday I'll learn how to do socks.
I love socks.
They're beautiful.
And Mimi Cat makes beautiful socks.
Yeah, she does. And Spring's rainbow ones.
And Lisa says, I want to get some Boyle style hooks with the cushion handles. I hold my hook kind of pencil style. And really, that's one of my questions on my list. Do you do the knife grip or the pencil style, or do you have some other style you do when it comes to holding your crochet hook?
I do the knife style. I love the cushioned handle on the boy. It's comfortable feeling. It's just not quite exactly what I need. I'd say it's not so bad. I've got a G hook that I can use on some of the chunkier yarn, but when it comes to working with the doing more detailed work, it has to be the Susan Bates for me.
See, for me, I do the knife grip. Let's see. Melissa says, Boyle is her favorite.
They're easily accessible, which is great.
And let's see. Oh, Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? Laura Lee says, I tried gray, but the almonds seem to work the best. Julia says, I use the pencil grip. Brenda says, knife grip. Colleen says, I'm a Bates girl. Melissa says, knife grip.
I found some good deals on Amazon on the Susan Bates. I was able, finally, when I got approved for disability, I'm like, all right, now I can make sure that I have all the sizes that I need in the brand that I like and a nice case to organize them.
Yeah, and you ever notice when it comes to organizing things, you organize it and it never stays organized.
Right now, my cases worked because I got a nice little book type case, and it has a zipper, and it opens up, and it's got little spots to keep the hooks in, and then I can keep more hooks, and I've got little pouches, and this seems to work pretty good. I had a pencil pouch before, and I could never find the right hook. So far, that one's working for me.
That one's nice. Let's see. Colleen says tutorial for a diaper cover.
Ooh, nice.
And Brenda Bear says I use a knife grip with a hoard.
Knife.
So while y'all answer, some of y'all answer the questions that I just asked, I'm going to go ahead and share some free crochet shawl patterns with y'all. And these are all patterns that use number 2 weighted yarn. Since my next Monday live will be talking about number 2 weighted yarn. So I'm sharing some extra patterns with y'all. Okay, the first one is called Ocean Shawl by Rich Textures Crochet. And y'all know I love the texture.
That's pretty.
I love how this one looks. And I love textured stitches.
And I love how it's got that slow color change for the nice ombre.
And one thing too that I want to point out, and I have pointed this out before, but you'll notice that it says this pattern is available for so much money, and you have the option buy it now or visit pattern website, and it says a free version is also available. If you click buy it now, that will take you to the paid for version. If you click visit pattern website, that takes you to the free version. Because I know sometimes people don't realize that. And I know initially I was always like, okay, it says a free version's available. Where's the free version? And it took me a little while to figure that out.
Free's always better.
Now, usually the difference is the fact that the free version has ads.
I don't care. Right now, my printer isn't working, so I had to hand copy.
This pattern is called Nightfall by Carmen Heffernan.
Nice.
And look at how pretty. And I love the little tassels. I love me some tassels. I love fringe.
That is pretty.
Let me see. Okay, they're all in the same color. I like it when the patterns show it in different colors.
Yeah.
And another thing, which I'm going to show you on this pattern that I'm about to share. Okay, the next one is Trillium Shawl by Elizabeth Davis de Harrias. And you'll notice that you have these tabs where it says details, yarn ideas, and projects. If you click on projects, and it has a number after, that tells you how many people shared. Oh, actually, it's wrong. Oops, that didn't work. Maybe the next one will have it. Okay, so this is what this shawl looks like.
Wow.
I think this one's beautiful. But typically when you click on projects, they'll have other like other people that made the pattern that submitted pictures. Which I don't know why that one had a number, nothing there. Okay, the next one is the Red River by Petra, however you say that. Okay, let's see if this one has it. Well, it looks like it's just hers on it. I'm not getting a good example. But look at how pretty this shawl is.
That is nice.
Maybe the last pattern will have what I'm trying to show. But I think this one's beautiful. Okay. Yeah, this one should. This one says 22.
So there should be at least one or two in there.
Yeah, okay, this one says projects 22. And if you click on that, you see how
Yep,
it takes you and it shows you, like, how other people made the pattern and like what type of yarn and what color yarn. So that also gives you ideas.
that's pretty neat.
Finally found one with it. And this one is called Unconventional by Sue Clark, I guess is how you say the name. And look at how pretty.
That is pretty.
See, here it is in a different color. And I always love seeing them, like the different
Ooh,
colors.
ooh,
There's a
nice.
couple more. Okay.
That's hard to see against the
I,
lattice.
I know. I was just thinking that. But yeah, those are the free patterns that I'm sharing with y'all today. And all of those pattern links are in the description box of today's live. Um, and they all use number two weighted yarn. Let's see.
Number two is nice for shawls.
hmm My favorite for shawls is number one weighted. I always think number one weighted is beautiful. I love hand dyed yarns. They make me drool.
And dyed yarns are beautiful. I got some from the Hobby Lobby sale. Two skeins of the same color, so I get
Me,
to try that.
Crystal, the Yarny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady, her grandma made an arrangement with me because, like, I don't have a Hobby Lobby real close to me. So I sent her money and she did shopping for me. And she got me a lot of the hand dyed yarn. I was like, yes, she did a good job.
I only found one colorway that was on clearance that I actually really liked. The other ones were like a single color, and I'm like, but that's not what I want in a hand dyed. I want the multicolored, and I was careful. I was good at the sale. I only spent like $100.
And sometimes you can combine the colors too. So that's another idea. Let's see. Janice says, I made a sweater for my 2-year-old son, a turtleneck when I was done. I couldn't get it over his
Oh,
head, so I had to change it to a button up collar. Yeah, nothing's worse when you have to undo frog, ribbit, ribbit.
yeah.
Okay, my next question for y'all is, what color yarn won't you crochet or knit with and why? So, is there any color that you don't use?
I'll use anything.
I'm the same way. I know a lot of people have will say they don't like using like black or dark colors because it's hard to see the stitches, but I've never really had problems with that.
I do a lot by feel.
I think that's what it is. You kind of have that where you can feel it, and you know, because the funny thing is, like one time I made something, I think in black yarn, and I had all these people commenting when I posted it in a Facebook group, and I didn't even know that like knitting with black yarn was a thing. Like, I didn't even realize that a lot of people found it difficult. Everyone kept saying something, and I was like, huh?
I'll use almost any color, any type. Especially where I've had a lot of things donated to me, I'll go through and I'll be like, well, let's see what I can do with this. The only one that I'm really having trouble with is that the stuff that makes that ruffles, the ruffle scarves.
I think I know what you're talking about. That sachet yarn, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah. I want to try doing some. wreaths with that because I have some so the wire wreath forms, and I want to see if that'll make a nice wreath. I have a whole bin full of that sachet yarn because nobody wanted it, so I had a bunch given to me.
But another thing too, like with what color yarn you don't like using, it could also be maybe because you don't like that color.
Depends on the project. If the project calls for that color or it fits with that color.
I mean, there are colors I'm not as fond of, but it depends on the project.
Yeah.
It's like, typically I'm not crazy about orange, but if you mix it with the right color combination, sometimes like fall looking yarn, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Or you're making like a holiday make where you need the orange.
I had
Um,
neon orange and I paired it with black and white and made it Nemo.
so I mean, like usually I find when you combine with the right colors, it can some of the color yarn that you're not crazy about, it can become beautiful.
And where I donate a lot of what I make, I never know. Somebody might love the color that I hate.
Exactly. Everyone's different. And let's
Especially where it goes to different parts of the world. And it's like, who knows what their color schemes are popular in that area, or if they even care.
not everyone likes the same color. Let's see, Kaylina joined us. Hi, Kaylina. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Lisa says, I use anything, any color, any fiber, because I can always turn on a brighter light.
That's it.
Laura Lee says, loved all the patterns. Open a link to them all. I can't use black. I have trouble feeling the holes. My hand sensation is not good anymore. Aw. And everyone seems to be liking the shawl patterns that were shared. Oh, hi, Gail. How are you today? And what are you currently working on? Yeah. We're getting towards the end. We only have about 8 more minutes left. But I am glad that y'all joined us. And I always laugh because you go to start wrapping up a live, and it seems like a bunch of people join in and you feel bad. You're like, oh man.
Come visit the replay. Come visit my channel. Come talk to us again. Everybody's always around.
Or sometimes you just go to hit the end button and someone pops up that you didn't even get to tell hello to.
I haven't done a live yet, so at least not an official one. I've done the 5 minute. Oh, this works.
Let's see. Where was I? Janice says I use still hooks mostly. Susan Bates. Have not tried ergonomic hooks, but would like to try them. Julia says I use any color. But yeah, I know like a lot of people do have trouble like with black yarn. Um, Gail says getting errands done for our out of town trip, packing laundry.
Ooh.
Fun. So where are you going to? And can you pack me away in your trunk so I can go with you? Okay, so the last question I have for y'all is, what do you do with your scrap yarn?
If it's really small scrap yarn, I'll crochet it up, and I have a Ziploc bag that I throw it in. And when I make stuffed animals, I use it for stuffing.
That's what I was gonna say. I use it to stuff my amigurumis.
Especially if I'm making it for a baby. That way, they can just throw the whole thing in the washing machine, and it's not going to have stuffing falling out of it because it's all yarn.
And another thing I'll do sometimes is I'll use it for tutorials sometimes.
Yep. Or for little details on, like if you're making a hat, like a character hat, and you have to put on like ears or spots or eyes or a mouth, little scraps.
Yeah, where you just need a tiny bit of yarn.
Or I'll
Yes,
crochet it
ma'am.
together and make a doll blanket. I'll use it down
Yeah.
to the last 2 inches.
Now, me, I've never gotten into like the scrap yarn projects. I know like some of y'all do scrap yarn projects, but I've never gotten into that.
I started a scrap yarn blanket and it's buried in my closet somewhere.
Let's see. Gail says going to the lake house with family to celebrate my mom's birthday. Fish and swim. Yep, I'm
Nice.
I'm hiding in your trunk. Brenda says depending on how much is left, I use it for scrap blankets and rugs.
Rugs are nice. That would be cool.
Laura Lee says I made a giant yarn ball bigger than a basketball. Great conversation item.
True.
Julia says I use for amigurumi or scrap blanket.
Yeah.
And Lisa says, what scrap yarn? It all goes into something. I use it all. Yeah. Most of the time I use it to stuff amigurumi.
Yep.
So yeah, I need to film my shout out Thursday video today.
Even something that I was given that was somebody else's half done project, it's going to be used as stuffing for something. It's certain things when you're given a half done project, certain things you just can't finish because you don't know how they did it.
Let's see. Laura Lee says, I thought I would make a multicolored blanket with the yarn eventually. Okay, Melissa's asking, how do you join a one weight yarn? Um, are you talking about basically like the magic knot where you join it together? I'm guessing that's what she means. Because,
I knot all my joins. It's just the way I do it.
because I know like you can either like get to the end of the row and then like cut your yarn and then weave in the ends, or there's the magic knot method, and I'm trying to explain it where you kind of like tie the yarn together on both ends and then you pull the knot together and then you trim the excess ends off. Um,
I'm bad. I knot it together and then I try to bury the knot in what
yeah,
I. And if the knot's there, eventually it'll kind of wear down a little bit after use.
that's the only thing you got to kind of be careful with the magic knot because you don't want it to be visible that knot. So you got to hope that it tucks away, which I find it's easier in crochet to tuck it. Knitting, it can it sometimes it is visible with knitting. I find more. Um, so I'm hoping that answered your question, Melissa. But yeah, I'm gonna do the shout out video later today. Let's see. Reminder, number two yarn makes. If y'all have pictures, send those in to me because I'll be next Monday. The topic will be number two weighted yarn. Uh, then the 15th is the finished projects video.
I'm playing with number 2 now. We'll see how it comes out because I have no idea. It's going to be some kind of wearable.
Nice. Melissa, you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try to find a tutorial for you on the magic knot and I'll post it on my community page. Because it's like I can't really share the video on the wall. But I know Barbara with crochet therapy. Well, I think she did it in a scarf tutorial, but she showed the magic knot method, and she did a good job on it. Um, but it's not hard to do the magic knot. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed the live, Brenda, and I hope all of y'all enjoyed today's live. I enjoyed chit chatting with all of y'all. Let's see. Lisa's asking, how does the magic knot hold up after washings? Does it stay together if it's trimmed short? I'm afraid of it coming apart in the blanket that I have given to someone. Um, Now you got to be careful that when you trim it, that you don't get into the actual like part of the fabric that you don't want cut, the part of the yarn you don't want to cut, because then it will come undone on you. But if you tie, both the knots and you get it nice and tight, it shouldn't fall apart. But you do have to be very careful how you trim it, because, like I said, if you get into like the part that's actually connected, it will unravel on you. Um, so so Sharon, do you have anything you want to say before we wrap everything up?
Oh.
I want to thank you for coming live with me today. I enjoyed having you. Oh, and one thing I did forget to mention, if y'all haven't checked out Sharon, please go check her out. Her channel link is in the description box of today's live, and it's pinned to the top of the chat. So yeah, go check her out. And let's see. I think I pretty much covered everything. Like I said, I want to thank all of y'all for watching today. I always love talking with y'all. And those that will be watching the replay, leave a comment. Let us know that you watched the replay. Also, feel free to answer any of the questions we asked on today's live. And I hope y'all all have a fabulous, yarny day. Be the light, and bye.
Bye, guys.